Here's a couple of quotes, okay? Now you let me know the cartoon Fredrick Douglass, would he say anything close to what I'm going to read you on that cartoon? One, he said, the white man's happiness cannot be purchased by the black man's misery. Does that sound like somebody who's like, you know what? Oh, slavery is bad, and it needs to be approached, with caution. But what I'm saying, like, the homies, they want to tackle this first, and we'll get to slavery, real soon. No, it doesn't. How many times must I explain? And I'm pretty sure if you guys have kids, or if you grew up in a household and you had really interactive parents, you know this for yourself, okay? What I'm about to say is nothing new to you. You need to be the main ones teaching your kids about history in the present and future topics that may ever come up. I know your kids go to school. I know teachers out there are responsible. They do their job very well. You know what I'm saying? I went to school, obviously graduated, and I had teachers, even though I didn't listen a lot, I had teachers in my life that at least did their part in teaching. But today, with 2023 and a lot of these crazy folks who want to whitewash history by any means necessary, they have the audacity, okay, to sit here and try to yell from the mountaintops that Democrats and these evil elitists want to brainwash your kids into making them feel like, white kids are the oppressor and black kids are the oppressed. Like, no one's teaching that in school, okay? But it is funny to me because when it comes to Republicans, if you ever pay attention, they will dry snitch on themselves. And I'm talking about PragerU. PragerU, which we already know is probably one of the most controversial institutions when it comes to reliable information. They have the audacity to sit here and paint Fredrick Douglass as someone who was, in better words, okay with slavery. Like, slavery wasn't the top on his list. It wasn't his main priority when it came to his job in his era. Like, slavery was like here, but making America great, that was his first on his list. They have the audacity to try to teach little kids false history. Now let's go ahead, watch this clip, and you tell me what the whole point is with this, okay? Let's go ahead, watch this clip, and we're going to have that conversation.
I want you to believe that anti-slavery abolitionist Fredrick Douglass was, in fact, an Uncle Tom.
Oh.
Let me first go to the video, and I will give you significant background. Here it is.
Children, our founding fathers knew that slavery was evil and wrong, and they knew that it would do terrible harm to the nation. They wanted it to end, but their first priority was getting all 13 colonies to unite as one country. The southern colonies were dependent on slave labor, and they wouldn't have joined a union that had banned it.
Are you okay with that?
I'm certainly not okay with slavery, but the founding fathers made a compromise to achieve something great, the making of the United States. It was America that began the conversation to end it. But Leo is correct that big problems need to be approached very carefully. Have you kids heard of William Lloyd Garrison?
No. Nope.
He's an abolitionist like me, and he and I used to be friends, but we aren't any longer. We don't agree how to solve problems. William refuses all compromises, demands immediate change, and if he doesn't get what he wants, he likes to set things on fire.
Whoa. Sounds familiar.
Sounds like you know the type.
Yeah, we've got that type in our time.
So, you're trying to work for change inside of the American system.
Precisely, Layla. Our system is wonderful.
This is insane. This is extreme. And this is the state of Florida. Florida schools have adopted curriculum from PragerU. Let me give you some background and insight, all right? What to the American slave is your 4th of July? I answer, Douglas said, a day that reveals to him more than all other days in the year the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is the constant.
All right, so let's go ahead. So just by watching that little excerpt there, that little clip there, what are they trying to explain? And like I said plenty of times in other videos, sometimes things you don't have to complicate to deliver to whoever's listening. Sometimes the simple answer, hey, slavery was bad. Fredrick Douglass, by all means necessary, didn't support anything that wasn't forced slavery. He never wanted to postpone anything. He never well, first, we need to make sure, the 13 colonies and, America needs to be great, and we need to no. And I read his autobiography. Like, it wasn't even close. Okay. Here's a couple of quotes, okay? Now you let me know the cartoon Fredrick Douglass, would he say anything close to what I'm going to read you on that cartoon? One, he said, the white man's happiness cannot be purchased by the black man's misery. Does that sound like somebody who's like, you know what? Oh, slavery is bad, and it needs to be approached, with caution. But I'm saying, like, the homies, they want to tackle this first, and we'll get to slavery, real soon. No, it doesn't. Oh yeah, if there is no struggle, there is no progress. If there is no struggle, there is no progress. That was his entire, at least his purpose, his existence. Honestly, if it wasn't for Fredrick Douglass, who accomplished a lot of things during his lifetime, I highly recommend that you guys educate yourself, because a lot of these Republicans, they want to use the naiveness of people and just, they'll add a little truth. If you watch that cartoon close enough, Fredrick was like, slavery's bad. But there's always a but, a big old but, okay? But, and it's like, no, you are incorrect on that. So like I've always said, as parents and even as individuals, we need to educate ourselves by any means necessary. It is 2023. We have knowledge everywhere. We have the opportunity to self-educate everywhere. Just make sure your sources are credible. Make sure the authors of the books that you're reading are credible, and they're not just some weirdo who got a book on Amazon somehow. You need to be careful. So what I want to do is end this video by watching what's his name, James Earl Jones. He read the 4th of July speech by Fredrick Douglass, and every once in a while I love to listen to this because it lets you know the state of mind he was in during, this quote unquote, special holiday. And once again, when you're listening to this, ask yourself, is this the same cartoonish representation that PragerU decided to use in their cartoon? Is this the same Fredrick Douglas? Because if it is, then I'm tripping. But let's go ahead and watch this, and you let me know.
And allow me to ask, why am I called upon to speak here today? What have I, or those I represent, to do with your national independence? Are the great principles of political freedom and of natural justice embodied in that Declaration of Independence extended to us? And am I, therefore, called upon to bring our humble offering to the national altar and to confess the benefits and express devout gratitude for the blessings resulting from your independence to us? I am not included within the pale of this glorious anniversary. Your high independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us. The blessings in which you this day rejoice are not enjoyed in common. The rich inheritance of justice, liberty, prosperity, and independence bequeathed by your fathers is shared by you, not by me. The sunlight that brought life and healing to you has brought stripes and death to me. This 4th of July is yours, not mine.
Not mine. Ooh.
You may rejoice, I must mourn. To drag a man in fetters into the grand illuminated temple of liberty and call upon him to join you in joyous anthems were inhuman mockery and sacrilegious irony. Do you mean, citizens, to mock me by asking me to speak today? What to the American slave is your 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him more than all other days of the year the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is a constant victim. To him, your celebration is a sham. Your boasted liberty, an unholy license. Your national greatness, swelling vanity. Your sounds of rejoicing are empty and heartless. Your denunciation of tyrants, brass-fronted impudence. Your shouts of liberty and equality, hollow mockery. Your prayers and hymns, your sermons and thanksgivings, with all your religious parade and solemnity, are to him mere bombast, fraud, deception, impiety, and hypocrisy, a thin veil to cover up crimes that would disgrace a nation of savages.
Damn.
There's not a nation of the earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of these United States at this very hour.
What?
At a time like this, scorching irony, not convincing argument, is needed. Oh, had I the ability and could reach the nation's ear, I would today pour forth a stream, a fiery stream of biting ridicule, blasting reproach, withering sarcasm, and stern rebuke. For it is not light that is needed, but fire. It is not the gentle shower, but thunder. We need the storm, the whirlwind, the earthquake. The feeling of the nation must be quickened. The conscience of the nation must be roused. The propriety of the nation must be startled. The hypocrisy of the nation must be exposed, and the crimes against God and man must be proclaimed and denounced.
Bro. Bars. You let me know. You let me know in the comments Is that the same Fredrick Douglass they portrayed in that cartoon that they want to use as educational pieces for kids? I better not hear not one daggone Republican conservative individual tell me anything about Democrats trying to indoctrinate, brainwash, confuse, give misinformation to little kids after seeing that. That is ridiculous. And that's simple. So let me know in the comments. Am I tripping? Is it just me, just with all the knowledge and information I have, you know, regarding Fredrick Douglass? Am I just missing something here? Because, you know, every once in a while, I do trip out a little bit. I do read into some things a little bit more than, you know, a person should. So let me know in the comments, am I doing that now? And like always, let's have that conversation.